The Minnesota Vikings, they've still got Kirk Cousins. They couldn't get rid of Kirk Cousins in the offseason. I feel like that was a thing that they wanted to do. They at least explored the idea of getting rid of Kirk Cousins.
They had talks with Denver, and nobody will ever convince me different. I heard too much of that from too many people that I really respect in this business.
Right. But they have made some good moves in free agency. Every move that they have made has been a plus move for me.
I like the Dalvin Tomlinson deal.
Absolutely.
This team, and I know it was a different regime, it was a different time, but this team has been best when they have two gigantic defensive tackles all the way back to the Williams brothers. Mm-hmm. So I like this move. I like Dalvin Tomlinson. I think he's a good player. And you're not tied in forever. This was not a 5-year deal. This is a guy that you can see how things roll, see if you're competitive. They've made themselves just on the outside of competitive to me. Mm-hmm. I now look at them more favorably than every team in this division that's not named the Green Bay Packers. And there was nothing you were going to do to change that. They have Aaron Rodgers. You have Kirk Cousins.
Right.
So, now, are you competitive for a wild card spot? I think so. Adding Patrick Peterson, who he's not what he used to be, but is he better than what you had? Yes. Absolutely. Mm-hmm. And I think his deficiencies could be covered a little bit in this Mike Zimmer scheme. They're not going to ask him to just go one-on-one constantly. And I think that helps. Mm-hmm. And you resisted the urge to pay Anthony Harris, who was a fucking disaster last year.
Yeah, they let the Philadelphia Eagles take that on.
You can have him, Philly.
Go for it.
This is a real good safety draft. We'll do just fine.
Mackenzie Alexander was a good addition to the
real
secondary.
Cheap, and I like how cheap you got him. 1-year prove-it deal. I had no issue with that. To be honest with you, the Vikings have one of the highest grades for me in the NFC.
Yes, as they do for me as well. Xavier Woods was another signing. That's a really solid signing. I feel like the defense, I love Mike Zimmer. I'm going to be a Mike Zimmer apologist.
I forgot about Xavier Woods. That's another deal I really liked.
Yeah. Yeah, just completed in the last few days. They have done a lot with this secondary, and they still have young pieces in the secondary as well.
Cameron Dantzler, Jeff Gladney.
With Jeff Gladney, that's going to be a tandem for the future.
I think this is a team. If I had to pick the 7 teams that make the playoffs in the NFC right now, I'd take the Minnesota Vikings to be the last one.
I don't know if I'm there with them.
The teams in the West
are
going to
eat each other.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I don't believe in the Seattle Seahawks. I think the Minnesota Vikings are better than the Seattle Seahawks right now.
I do not, but it's trending in that direction. The crazier stuff gets in Seattle. Absolutely. They didn't really, they lost Riley Reif. Obviously, he's in greener pastures now. With Anthony Harris leaving as well, it really wasn't a major loss for this team. It was a team that I kept saying going down the stretch, there's a chance. They got a chance to make the playoffs.
I didn't like them last year.
It didn't work out.
Now. Right. And I'll be honest with you, Xavier Woods is almost equivalent to the safety Anthony Harris is right now. Mm-hmm. I just like what they've done.
Play great
and if
defense.
they add, I've had Christian Darrisaw to them for what feels like an eternity. There are about 5 picks in my first round that have not changed under any circumstances, and Christian Darrisaw is one of them. Mm-hmm. Because the one thing they have to do is resist the urge to move Brian O'Neill to the left side. Mm-hmm. Because I don't want to see that. I like him on the right side. This team it's too important that they're able to run the ball. The Mason Cole deal, he was a disaster as a center. You got him for a 6th-round pick. I think he's a fine guard. Mm-hmm. I never liked him as he's one of the worst centers in the NFL. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people hammered this deal. Oh, they don't have any intention of playing him at center. He's going to be a guard. They have Garrett Bradbury.
Right. Garrett Bradbury, who's been one of their best picks in recent years.
Consistent. He's a consistent week in, week out starter. Mm-hmm. And you add that left tackle, I think they need another receiver at some point in this draft. They need a 3rd guy to go with Jefferson and Adam Thielen. Another outside guy would be my preference. And then all of a sudden, now you're in the A for the offseason, and I think you're solidly a playoff team. This is a team I look to really rebound from last year.
Yeah.
They were beset by injuries last year. The defense kind of fell apart. It's gotten a facelift. I like what they've done.
Mm-hmm. I like I like their prospects. I would just like for you to have a better quarterback. But Kirk Cousins is what he is. Yeah,
I mean, here's the thing. What were you going to do better?
No, you couldn't do anything better. That's what I'm saying. That's everything they could have improved, I think they did.
I agree.
Kirk Cousins is still concerning to me, but I don't think he's a horrible quarterback. He's serviceable in the NFL.
The only talent loss I could actually ding them for is Mike Boone, because I do like Mike Boone a lot.
Yeah, but there again, he was the third running back.
And you still got Alexander Madison. Mm-hmm. I'm good with it. I just, if I'm going to say all these nice things, at some point I have to say something negative.
Right.
Or the Jacksonville Jaguar fans will keep telling me to go play in traffic because I said nothing but mean things about them.
Right. I don't know if I'm on board with them being a playoff team, but they're just outside. They definitely are just outside for me. Hence the grades. I give them a B. The mullet gives them a B+. Minnesota Vikings free agent grades. Be sure to like and subscribe here to the Sportsocracy. You get all of the free agent grades and team-by-team content throughout the offseason and through the regular season as well. We are in the Wicked Weed studio, wickedweedbrewing.com. Drink different.